Hey guys, and we are back for hours number 5 and 6. I had to think about that a minute, right? No, yeah, 5 and 6. Just to give you a quick update, if you're just now joining us, we have gotten 45 jeans done in these first 4 hours, so pretty good. We'd like to be a little further ahead than that, but we've stopped a lot and had a lot of great conversation with everyone. Let me make sure my sound doesn't come up here. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if the sound is good, please. It's always a little bit tricky whenever we change. Let me make sure I'm on the right microphone here. And let me save that. So yeah, so let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay. I want to show you guys what we've done so far. There's the top row. There's the second row. And there's actually a few more over on the desk. There's a few more on the desk you can see. Sorry it's not the greatest video because I'm walking with you with a Mac in my hand. Let me turn on some light here. Help a little bit. And if you've ever seen all my videos on this channel, you've seen me do videos from this area before. Carr and actually are going to sit down and have some lunch. There's a wild idea, right? Great, you guys can hear me. Yeah, so we're up to 45, which is not bad. I'd hope to be more like around 55, but honestly, guys, we've gotten such great feedback from you guys watching. We, you know, it's just been a lot of fun talking to you guys and hanging out. We've had like, I think 70 people in the room at least, and on a few occasions. Somebody asked if any of the items we've listed today have sold. That's a great question. Let me look real quick, and I will tell you. Something sold earlier today that I thought might have been a pair I listed. Let's see.
You know by the numbers.
Yeah. For 3440. 8232, that might be. Nope, nothing today yet. Oh well, but we'll get there. I mean, one thing you got to remember, guys, is it takes a while for close that. It takes a while for your items to get populated into eBay and basically to show up in the listings and so on. It can take a few moments. And then it takes even longer sometimes for people to find it. So let's see. Are you listing everything immediately or are you scheduling listings? Nope, listing them right away. Haute chic. Haute chic. That's hard to say for some reason. We're listing right away. They're going live right away. I don't know. I mean, I know people schedule listings and that way they all end at the same time. And there's nothing wrong with that. So then they can relist at the same time, but I don't know. I just never have done it that way. On average, how many minutes does it take you to list a pair of jeans? Well, it's kind of interesting because we've spent 240 minutes and listed 45, which is what, about it's a little over 5 minutes a listing. And honestly, that's slow because a lot of the reason that's gone slow is we've had to take time to stop and chat and answer questions. So I think my time of like 3 to 3.5 minutes per listing, once you've got the photos, let me be clear about that. I don't want to mislead anybody. But once you got the photos, is that you can go in and do them in about 3 to 3.5 minutes. Not that long. Whitney says, there's so much potential in the jeans. Well, great, Whitney. I'm glad you're doing well. Hope you are.
I know you can show everybody your fancy lunch.
Oh, yes. My fancy lunch, which is, what do we got here? We got, I can't really, it's kind of hard to show. So I will try to show you. So we've got some apples, some prosciutto, and some cinnamon, and some date pecan spread. All paleo approved, and yes. Karn's got the same thing. Oh. Duh.
Usually the prosciutto is rolled into a cute little, they can still see my forehead. So usually it's rolled into a cute little thing, but time does not allow for cuteness. Eat.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, so we're gonna eat for a few moments. You got questions, please ask. Let me grab some water.
Yeah, we can eat and chat all at the same time. Oh, clothes are falling off here, not right. So we figured this would be a good time to sorry. King said that per new YouTube regulations, food has to be shot in 4K. Well, if it were my channel, King, it would be shot in 4K. I'm just saying.
4K. How do you know this isn't? Nah, it's not. I'm sure it's not.
I have to sit on the floor, sorry.
Okay.
That's funny.
Karin's gotten very short today.
Karin is very short. What are you talking about? So hopefully everybody else is having a potty break now or a lunch break.
Suzanne asked if we try to make a certain amount of profit. I'm trying to net close to $10 a pair, Susanna. Because I feel like with the amount of time I put in the jean, that's worth it. When it starts getting a lot lower than that, it starts getting a little more problematic. Now, obviously, if we were doing more volume, we would accept even lower amounts because you're getting actually more dollars. But I think $10 a pair net after cost to acquire and your selling fees, I think that's reasonable because then your only expenses left are, of course, your overhead from your business, but then also your tax liability. I think it can make sense at that point. If it gets lower than that, it doesn't really meet, kind of the goals we have for the business. Man, that's a lot of food. I don't think I can eat all this.
So Rob asks, are you listing at the same rate as her photo taking, or is she, me, getting ahead of you? Rob's wife takes photos way faster than he can list. Ordinarily, I could probably get ahead of you, right? So what we did, Rob, is I pre-took about 60 pictures because we knew that would happen. We knew that we'd get to talking or chatting or doing some of the other content stuff that we had planned for today, and it would get away from us. So I average about 10 to 12 jean picks per hour or pairs per hour. I'm certainly not doing that now. What am I at, 20? But that's okay. No worries there.
Yeah, you're averaging about 5 an hour.
Wow. So yeah, we're in the same boat. And somebody said earlier about having a lack of attention to detail. I have a lot of attention to detail. So I think that having me be the picture taker is right on. We joked about, and I don't think we're going to do it because of how it's all working out, but we joked about having me do a listing because I know how. I just don't do it as much as Jason does it. But at this point, it would just be, taking up way too much time. So there you go. I was going to say something else, but now I don't remember. So your turn.
Well, I think we both have different strengths, and we're playing to those. Instead of trying to make our weaknesses better, we're saying, hey, this is what I'm good at. This is what she's good at. Let's take it on and run with it. And eventually we'll continue to learn each other's craft. I mean, what's interesting is I showed her the way I thought the photos needed to be way back when we first started. But she has since evolved it to a level that I wasn't doing in the beginning by any stretch of the imagination. And she's come up with a much better system, a much better set of photos. She's better at figuring out the lighting, the coloration. So that just goes to show you, just because you come up with something or you're the first one to do it, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the best one to do it. And, the listing process, maybe you'll come up with a better listing process too. And you can just do both and I'll just kick back.
You really think that people are going to find that funny?
I was hoping.
They're so on my side. What are you talking about? But at some point, we've talked about outsourcing all of it. And we just can't do that. There's levels to the business. And right now, we do it. We do everything. And we took the first step by having a helper, right? So there you go.
Yeah, because eventually, guys, we're going to become the bottleneck. I mean, there's only so many photos she can take in a set time frame. There's only so many listings I can do. But imagine if you had 2 people listing and 2 people taking photographs all day and 2 people sourcing. Now, our business theoretically could be 3 times as large. We could get 3 times as many items up. We could get 3 times as many sales. I mean, it all sort of scales. And yeah, there's going to be ebbs and flows where sometimes it's going to be slower or faster than you thought. But ultimately, you have to, if you want to scale a business up, it has to be scalable. And we think we can scale it to a certain level that's really good. And then beyond that, we can make decisions on other people.
Well, and we get asked a lot, do you only sell jeans? And the answer is no. I mean, in your evolution of your business, I mean, at one time, he even scrapped. We did electronic scrapping and metal scrapping.
Yep.
And so now we're evolved to this. The jeans are a part of our business. And there's a challenge that goes along with that part where he's wanting to list 5,000. And the PROF math would indicate that once we get to that level, all of our regular bills, it's basically an annual income. And right now it's 2 people. It won't be by the time it's 5,000 in our inventory, but it's enough money, even paying people, that it would give us a full-time income. And so then we can augment that with other things. And
really good full-time income.
Yeah. And so we've already started, we are asked a lot about going the wholesale route or buying in bulk route, or, at some point we'll go back to our local bin and experiment with that maybe a little bit. I'm not a big fan, but we have lots of resources at our disposal. It's just, as a lot of it is impossible. Just like it's impossible to keep all of the people happy all of the time, it's impossible for us to cover every resource that we have. And we found some rhythm and some great success, I think, in the paths that we've laid out here locally with our Goodwills. And we have it now where once a week, and we haven't done it recently because we had the 300 and now we have the 150 to process, but where we can go, we have 4 solid areas that we go to get our inventory. And while we're there, we mentioned in the last video that we did together, we don't like to leave money on the table. So we're branching out a little bit. We'll look into hard goods while we're there. You're doing some other things with clothing, etc. I'd like to see us do more estate sales. I think we're missing it on that.
We are missing that opportunity, yep. And those would be weekends, so they wouldn't necessarily be sourcing days anyway. I agree with you, King. There is great money at yard sales. And I also agree with you, it's time consuming. There was one day earlier this year, how many did we go to in one day?
Yeah, you wanted to see whether we killed each other or not. That day did not end well. I think our, what was it, like 14? It was a big number. It was a double-digit number. Don't you remember?
No, it was way higher than that because it was community sales.
Well, then how much was it?
It was like 50.
Oh, that. Oh,
yeah.
One day with the, yeah. So we counted how many houses. I was talking sales. So we counted how many houses we went to on that one day. Was it 50? It was either 48 or 52. It was an even number, but I can't remember which one.
Right.
Yeah. But that day was rough because, your mouth's full, so you can't talk. He has to eat on a regular basis or he gets grumpy. So we have to bring snacks, right? And as the day gets long, 50 houses is a bit much, yeah? But we did it. And that was like, wasn't that, didn't you do a video on that?
Yeah, it was like 53 or something like that.
It was a weird number.
Yeah, we counted. It was nuts.
But it was like a video where we called it $1,000 yard sale day or something. I can't remember. But yeah, that was a big day. We would do yard sales more, but it's kind of, how do we want to spend our time?
It's not our season right now for yard sales either.
No, our season is short here. And we even had a yard sale. I think you talked about it. We even had a yard sale in our own neighborhood, a fall sale, and we were going to participate. But it was kind of like, wah, wah. People just didn't show up. Nobody was there. So
yeah, nobody else was doing it. So, and they didn't advertise it very well, and it was cold. There's just a lot of factors against it. And I didn't see any traffic going up and down the street either. I just don't think people knew about it. I mean, you can stick a sign out in front of your community, but if you don't advertise on Craigslist or not garage sale, yard sale, treasure map, whatever, then nobody knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or Gasolar.
Yeah.
I hear you, Emily, about doubling your listings doesn't necessarily double your sales, but I think it depends on what you're selling and how big the market is. And I don't know what you're selling, but the market for jeans on eBay is big. I mean, it's a few million listings. So even to be at 5,000, I'm not a significant number. Like, I'm not flooding and diluting the market that much. Now, on the other hand, if there's 10,000 listings of a certain item and you go from 1,000 to 2,000, you've added 10% more listings to that area. So there might not be an additional 10% of unmet demand. You might not see a 10 or a double in your sales because there's just not a big enough market. But I think with a lot of things, and the market size too also depends on how much demand there is. And that's a tricky one to know, because the way you would theoretically see like a bigger demand in one market versus another is you would see prices rise. And there would not be, and that's because there's so much demand or decreased supply or some combination of those two. It's hard to really know that on eBay over time. I just look at it like, with our tiny amount of listings compared to how big the market is total, I just don't think we're anywhere significant in the total number of listings out there to really change the math too much. If we had 100,000 listings, that might be different. But to go from 1,000 to 2,000, I don't know. I don't know if it'll double or not. We'll see. There's no way to really know either, because you need to stay at a total for a period of time to see probably a whole year to kind of see the whole seasonal effect. And then the next year, right away, be at double for a whole year, and to kind of see for sure what the effect is. And that's not going to happen because we're going to just keep listing and growing it, and we're not going to wait. So anyway.
Well, and Hank has a good point. He's in Florida, and they don't really notice a season for yard sales. I mean, in Florida, and other resellers will tell you the same thing, Florida pretty much has yard sales year round because they don't, all jokes aside, you really don't have season changes.
Mm-hmm.
And not that we're lucky in the Carolinas. We don't have a drastic season change like they do in the Midwest either. We have moderate, that's when it probably hits, but our springs and our falls are pretty moderate. Our winters, I don't want to jinx us, so I'll knock on our wooden coffee table, but our winters aren't very severe either.
Right.
Emily, are you in the U.S.? Yeah, you can. It is like road work, Hank.
Right. You done?
Yes, I'm done. Thank you. So there was just like a whole minute of me chewing.
Well, you should have talked.
I have food in my mouth. So another first, we have eaten lunch on the YouTube.
How exciting was that? How much did you learn about apples
and us, for that matter? Gee.
All right. Well, that was a 20-minute lunch, if that.
And that wasn't bad. I'm gonna need another potty break before I go. So how do we? What did the agenda look like for this time? Because we kind of got to hit it and hit it hard.
I don't know.
I'm only halfway there.
All right. Well, I can keep it on me for more, I guess.
No, but you gotta. The goal is to list. I mean, I'll get.
Yeah, we'll cut
photos.
down somewhat.
It's that time. Prof is going to. I don't know what mini mukbang is. Is it? I'm the only one. What is a mukbang? Mini mukbang. That was a word earlier. Is that something not nice? I don't know. But if you could stop making bunny ears behind my head. So Prof is going to take.
It's a mutant bunny.
Prof is going to take the. Oh, Emily's in South Carolina. Well, very good. T-shirt business. Yeah, King, that's what I'm trying to, the chat police in me wants to just make sure what we're talking about here, but I don't know what it is. So if it's something naughty, don't tell me.
All right, so I'm gonna take this back in there.
All right, bye-bye.
Aha. All right, so here we go. And back we go. Dun, 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 dun. So plug the old Mac back in. And away we will go. YouTube trend where you eat on, there was a mini mukbang. Actually, we call it monkey munch. That's what we eat for breakfast. Oh, you guys are crazy. Let's see here. All right. Why is this chat not wanting to pop out? Pop out, chat. Doop. All right. So off we go. Next up is a pair of AG pants. Who knew? AG, Adriano Goldschmied, Schmid. Kind of a funny word to say.
Schmiegel.
Schmiegel?
No, that's the Hobbit.
I can actually I can actually spell Goldschmied now. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. That's a whole nother story. What did you put this penny pick on these for? Karin? Hey, Karin. Karin.
What?
What'd you put this penny pick on these for?
Which ones?
On the AGs.
Are they men's?
No, I don't think so. Oh, it's that? Oh, it's that. Okay.
They're just a little rough with the threads.
So this is something I'm going to show you guys that we like to do. Nice best practice, I think. I don't know if you can see this photo. I'm going to try to get the glare off. So you see where the penny is, and you see to the other side of the penny, there's some missing stitching, where the stitching on these has been just ripped a little bit. So what we do is we like to put in the photos, we take a photo of this and we'll put in the description, missing stitching, see penny photos for condition. That way, the buyer can see that spot, they know exactly which photo they can look at, they can see the condition of it. And then they can make a determination whether it's a big deal or not. So just thought I'd share that with you. And I cannot take credit for that. I think somebody else
But you gleaned that from somewhere else?
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
If you ever want me to go on the chatty thing, did you send me a new invitation?
Oh, no, I need to send you a new invitation, don't I? Sorry, let me get that set up. All right, so I'm going to send Karin an invite so she can join. And there. Boom.
Oh, so mukbang really means watching people eat?
I had no idea. Never heard of that. Learn something new. Ooh, these might be men's. They were men's. We don't get a lot of men's AG jeans. I don't know why. We just don't seem to find them. Did you get it? The invite?
I'll tell you in a second. Yeah, did you see Mike? Mike wants the link from Key.
Mike wants what?
Oh, it's silly. It's silliness.
Disclaimer, penny not included in listing. That's funny. Yeah, I know, right? Where's the penny? You can see somebody giving you item not as described, did not come with penny. It's my luck.
All right, I'm here.
Let's see what these are. That's more like a 32.
All right, I've got the link, but I'm out of the call at the moment. So.
Okay. But you got it. Okay.
Yep,
Cool.
I got it.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, I'm just chatting it up with Yvonne.
Oh, okay. I see how y'all are. Just leaving everybody else out of it. Oh, no, I guess you're not. It's funny because all of a sudden now my eBay mobile app is taking a little bit longer to upload the photos. Not much longer, like maybe an additional 3 or 4 seconds. Not a big deal. No big whoop. Not even going to sweat it. Yeah, I just had on this hour update totals and lunch working.
All right. Well, is there anything you want me to do that I didn't do from before, or do you think I covered it all and I need to do it? I mean,
yeah, if you guys have listing and photographing and preparation questions and so on, Karin would be glad to answer those or show you if need be.
yeah. Do I need to walk through another photo set in here? Because we might
Probably could at some point.
a different crowd. Oh, might be our first defect of the day.
Yeah, the other thing too, guys, about the penny photo is having a penny or an object like that, it shows the size because people know how big a penny is or dime or quarter, whatever you want to use. So they can make a determination about how big a spot is or discoloration or whatever the issue is. So rather than just pointing it out to somebody and taking a photo, sometimes it's hard to tell exactly how big it is. Anyway. My favorite consignment shop will be going out of business. They ask if I can buy out remaining inventory. How low should I go to get the best price? Man, that's tough to know. I mean, because honestly, without knowing what it is, I mean, here's the thing to think about. Hote, is that you also need to think about how long will it take some of those items to sell. Maybe they're high end. How long are you going to tie up your capital in them? How are there items that could have damages and defects that you were really going to need to inspect first? And because that's going to happen, you're going to find some things that probably have chips or nicks or issues that you might not think are, maybe they won't really be saleable, or you at least have to sell them at a discount to what they would go for if they weren't damaged. I think you have to think about all those things. I would definitely want to go as low as possible. Start low and then work up, because you got to assume some percentage of that stuff is gonna have some issues and maybe not even sellable at all for whatever reasons. So I would be. I mean, it sounds like a cool opportunity. Don't get me wrong, and I think it's probably a good one. But you got to think about, it's not going to be all roses. There are going to be some issues with some of the things that you get out of that shop. So just something to consider. I feel like we're like Buzz Lightyear here, like to infinity and beyond or something, right? Is that what he used to say? To infinity and beyond? Once we got to 1,000, I was like, yeah. What up?
We should have a party. I was gonna buy confetti, but then I realized if I shot it off in here, I would be the one that had to clean it up.
That is a downside. I think we should celebrate getting to 1,000 listings by tomorrow listing more.
Okay.
How's that? Right?
Good.
No quit.
No.
Let's see. American Eagle. You know me and that song. I'm going to have to download your next, I should have done that while we were at lunch. I forgot.
What?
Your next batch.
Oh, and I'm going to have to take time to edit and start sending them to you, because you only have 3, so.
Yeah.
It might work out where I get them done and then I can just go 4, 4, 4, 4. I'd like to maybe take the camera over my shoulder and even show people as I edit.
Okay.
That would be
do that.
and then that would lead
When you get ready to do that, yeah. And because I'm going to need to go in and download this next batch here in a moment. That'll take a little bit. Too regular. You are very welcome for the comments on the consignment shop. Great opportunity. Sounds awesome.
Here's another brand. You want to switch to me? Are you ready for a switcheroo?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
And I will be.
Okay.
And
There. So, yeah, I'm up now. So another great brand, one that we don't see very often, is David Kahn. Really similar, I think, in quality to perhaps AG's or Hudson's. They are a nice pair of pants as well. Not to be confused, there's also a David Britton, Buffalo. Bitten.
Buffalo jeans by David Baton or
Bitten, which I like as well. But these are some David Kahns. They have a pocket similar to Calvin's, actually.
Yeah, nice little jeans.
But they're a nice pair of pants. So we will go and take these. So once I can get through my next 2 sets of 10 photographs, we will, when I edit them, we'll probably, this is crappy. We'll probably take a minute to, couple minutes, and I will edit along with you and show you that process as well.
Oh, yay. I get to see you edit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We get asked a lot, if you know anything about us, we're both former teachers. So if, getting, when you ask questions, our mindset is this when we're helping other people. We want to teach you how to think, not what to think. So we're sort of creating a template for you, whether you sell jeans or whether you sell whatever it is you sell, collectibles, remote control stuff, t-shirts, whatever. We're hoping that there are applications and methods that we use in selling jeans that you can use as well. You know, some of the universal things that we do are, you know, we put emphasis on good customer service. We put emphasis on good, clear pictures, adequate pictures. You know, you're telling a story about your stuff. You should certainly provide them enough information so that they'll want to. And one of the things I do when I take pictures, you see me reaching over to the side here. I use pasties. I'll use double-sided tape. In fact, this one's used up to help a tag lay down properly so it looks better in the photo. And that's what I keep reaching over for. But it's important because if the tag is all curled up and people can't make out the size or, you know, the information that they need to make an educated decision on whether or not they want to buy these jeans, I want to not leave any questions unanswered. It also helps Jason when he's listing. Oh, come on. Because, you know, the big questions for him are what's the manufacturer? What is the composition of the jean? You know, year, make, and model kind of stuff. And in this instance, I was able to pull from one picture. Sometimes it takes more, but I was able to pull the size, where it's made, you know, the fact that it's 98% cotton, 2% stretchy stuff, and that it is a David Kahn pair of jeans. All right, Yvonne, do it. List 10, come on. I'm the one that's struggling to get 10 pictures in any one given segment here done, but we'll get there. You know, the one thing that I'll have to do is I still have to go back and edit my pictures because I don't do it in the moment. It's just how I batch it. I will take my set and then I will go back and edit them. You know, I guess the one drawback to that could be that if it's not in focus or if the color balance is wrong, but I've gotten into the habit where I'm checking some of that as I go anyway. So I don't think in the long run it is causing me really any extra time. And again, for those of you that are just joining us, ordinarily, Jason is, you know, what is it taking you 3 minutes to list something? Normally. And normally I'm doing pictures at a rate of 10 to 12, including the editing an hour. Today, and we already took this into account, is going to stretch out a little longer than that because, well, life and chats. And, you know, honestly, that's the fact that it's taking us longer than normal is a nice thing. You know, we're certainly enjoying the interaction with everybody. That's cool. And now we go back to Tommy Hilfiger. Dun, 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 dun. You know, you had a question earlier about somebody had some a woman's Tommy that just wasn't moving. Right. Did you answer it or no?
I don't think I did.
Well, I don't know if that person is still in the room, but we'd need to know some things like how old, what size, what do your pictures look like? You know, there's lots of things to consider before you just consider if it's not selling or not. You know, we make a joke, a reseller joke is that, you know, my stuff isn't selling. Well, the response is, well, then buy better stuff that'll sell, right? But with the stuff that you do have, you want to make sure that it's, you've got good pictures of it, and that you do your research. You know, you want to know what other things like it or similar to it have sold for and how you need to list it. And in this instance, we're in the, so your Mr. Sadie is being a funny guy. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Yeah, so no So we're not going to repeat everything from the last 5 hours, but we are on schedule. Great turnout. School is still in session for the most part, so the trolls are at a minimum. And I do not want to jinx us when I say that out loud. But towards the end of the day, I will transition to once again just solely being the chat police for this endeavor. So, and it's sad that that has to happen, but oh well. It is what it is. Oh, my phone is charging finally.
Yay.
Well, when I turned off the lights, when I turned the strip off, of course it turns the strip off. So my phone totally didn't charge. Yeah, my phone did not charge during lunch. So there you go. No biggie.
Oh, because you had it plugged in.
Yeah, I had the strip, right? So it didn't do what it was supposed to do. I have not found any money today in my pockets. No, I've not. But I did find a dum dum wrapper.
Well, got that going for you.
And honestly, it dawned on me that after my first set of 10 pictures, I also had not. Maybe that's a little better. You can kind of see my face, maybe. I don't know. So one dum dum wrapper. That's what we got. And hey, Yvonne, I wore this shirt for you. So with regard to you, you know, getting your listings done and everything, there you go. That's your motivation for today. Just do it.
Yeah, if you aren't listening today, what are you waiting on?
Yes, today should be just national, or at least YouTubinal listing day. Oh man, how'd that happen? Come on, come out of there. Yeah. And it's actually, we're at a, you know, I haven't started singing and going cuckoo doing the singing and dancing too much.
No, not too bad.
Oh, you're not supposed to agree with me.
I mean, I disagree. You have gone.
No, you don't say too bad.
Wait, I don't know what to say.
You can't, you just can't win here. Just smile, sweetheart.
Bless your heart.
Yes, exactly. Oh, these are crooked. Yeah, if my mic is on, you have to look at chat because I'm not.
I'm looking at it. I'm trying to list too.
Are you listing?
I'm listening. Turns out.
Oh, so Stephanie asks, what do I mean edit my pictures? So there are a couple shots, and I'll go ahead and cover it once I start the next pair. But I'm taking photos on an iPhone 6S, and we do not use them 100% straight from the phone. They need a little tweaking. I use the square orientation or size on most of them if it's a size 10 or less, and then above that I have to use the bigger photo or landscape option. But what I'm doing is, especially in the butt and waist shots, I'm having to scale it back a little bit just to square it up in the photo. I could probably do it the other way, but I just like the way it looks. I like to clean it up a little bit.
It's like, yeah, you have a good light kit and all, Yvonne said.
Yeah, this is, and it's
King says probably crop and white balance.
Yes, King. I actually, my phone does really well with the white balance, and you and I have talked before about how it struggles a little bit sometimes. Sorry. I just read something that made me. That's for Mr. Sadie. That was very, very funny. Sorry.
I saw that, Sadie.
But yes, we've talked about that before as far as white balance. I do not, Stephanie, make the jeans something that they're not. So I work with what I've got. With the iPhone, you can adjust the lighter or darker. You can also adjust the color, but I won't put a filter. Oh, I'm looking over here and you guys are over here. So I'm looking at your text on the Mac and then I'm coming over here. So I won't, because we want to post pictures that are true to the color, or we'll get a not as whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you get a return.
Yeah, we don't want returns. So we're going to do as much as we can to put it out there as true to life as it is. So really the only editing that I'm doing is I'm tweaking the actual image itself for size and balance, like orientation, like if it's a little crooked. I don't want my measuring stick, for example, to be like this in the top of my frame. So I'm going to level that out. And I want my photos to match. The measuring stick, when it's in the photo, it sort of makes the color true to life. I don't know what it is, but I always struggle with that first photo for some reason. So I want to make sure that all my pictures of, say, these Tommies, you know, this blue comes through as the same blue on all 5 pictures. There's nothing more frustrating than when it doesn't. And so I will, you know, I'll play with that a little bit, but that's about it. I don't change it into something, oops, stepping on my cord, that it's not. You know, I want to make sure that, and I'll probably do that here in a minute, but I want to make sure that, you know, if I have a tag on the back of the jeans, that it's readable, so that if somebody zooms in, they can see it. There's nothing worse. Like, I don't get how people sell stuff with not good pictures. You know, we've looked up sold listings for several things, and it'll, like, for example, it'll say that it's black and the picture is blue. I don't know, it's just a pet peeve of mine. I won't put it out there if the color isn't true. I just won't do it. But people, it works for some people. We're just not gonna, it's just not something we do. And also blurry pictures work for some people as well. And I'm trying to avoid that. You know, like in my second picture, I'll zoom in and make sure that that label is indeed in focus, and then I move on to the next one. Thanks, Yvonne. I can't really eat pizza. I'll explain that later. All that Whole30 business. We actually, King asked, why don't we just hire a jeans model?
Expensive.
Well, it would be expensive. I'm not sure if he's joking or not. But, you know, I won't do it myself unless they're apple bottom jeans. No, just kidding. So, we actually talked about, we've got some men's shirts, and we've actually talked about having him put some of them on, because we wonder if there's something to that. I know it gets attention. What do you guys call it? Clickbait, you know, to see a girl in a nice tight pair of jeans. I think it gets some attention. But I think at the end of the day, if somebody's shopping for a certain size, they're just going to find it. I mean, I'm sure there's a part of the population, you know, we're all individual. I think we talked the other day about, there are, you know, we just tried that. We just sold our first auction pair of jeans and sold them for double what we would normally sell them for. And I, you know, in my limited knowledge of how all this works, I think that there is a segment of the eBay consumer population that is drawn to auctions because something in their personality draws them to, you know, similar to maybe resellers when we're out shopping for it. It's the thrill of the hunt and the competition. So I'm sure with auctions, there's probably something to people that are drawn to auctions that they want to win.
Right.
That it's a prize.
Sure, because of competition.
To be had. Right. So, oh, and now we're into Jason's favorite brand. And these last 2 piles, Just happened to be, I looped them where they were the same brand because of an experiment that I did with our last haul, if you will. But these are Luckies, and they're pretty cool. We have a pretty successful, almost 100% sell through. What's our sell through on Lucky when we did that? When we did the PROF math,
I can show you.
comparatively speaking, it was pretty high. So Luckies have been good to us. And in this pile, I think there's about 6 of them. I have a nice group. These are a little one with a nice back pocket. Regular inseam. Oh, there's that word again, inseam.
Lucky sell through 74% for us.
Yeah, so there you go. 74%, which is above our average. But they do very well. So whenever we see Luckies, they're in good shape. I am very partial to Luckies, the older Luckies, like the vintage, like the stuff you just don't see. Like I've got a pair here, you know, they might not be your thing, but they're an older pair of capris, and you know, they're a little rough around the edges, but they're that way on purpose. But I just thought they were cool. And I said in one of the earlier segments that I'm really drawn, for me, I'm drawn to the unique, the different, the one-offs, if you will. I mean, that's not our bread and butter, but I really like having items in the inventory that are different, because in my brain, that puts us at a bit of an advantage, because, you know, it's not something that's out there all over the place, right? And in this case, these are, yeah, this is a different, this is one we don't normally have. This is Pacific Wonder.
Just a minute.
Of course. Jason's taking my measuring stick.
That's what I do. I'm a measurement stick.
You're a measurement stickler.
No way. All right.
Cool. So what'd you do?
Nothing to see
It's
here.
not worth talking about?
I was just measuring an inseam, just confirming something.
Are you checking back after me? Or
No,
is
not
this the
after
whole,
you.
is this the whole inseam?
The whole inseam debate.
Oh, gotcha.
The inseam debate.
The great inseam debate of 2016.
Yeah. Forget the presidential election. It's about the inseam debate.
Yeah, now see what you did.
What are you doing? It's about the inseam.
So now we're taking the inseam. And Lucky is one that counts it at the bottom of the zipper, right? You know, I'd be curious, maybe to help support or not support that business. Maybe.
What are you talking about?
Nothing, I don't remember.
That went quick.
Yeah.
Almost top. Yeah, we got about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Top of the hour. Yeah. Maybe.
Let me see if this charger will do better. My iPad is struggling. Oh, it's hot as heck too. Boy, it's just struggling to charge on your
Here.
little one. I'm gonna take it off.
Use this one.
Oh, it's hot. You sure? You good?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You
I'm
are.
not hungry. I've had
Oh.
it charged the whole time.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I didn't ever take it off the charger.
Oh, okay. Well, then why is it doing that? There we go. Let's see. Oh, wee. Let's see if that makes
So
it.
I'd love to see how Karin is laying out the for the photos. Any way to move the camera to see the table?
Yes, I'm going to do that in just a little bit here. Whoever said that.
It's Michelle SD.
Okay.
Who said that?
Yeah, I'm going to figure out a way to do that, Michelle. It will guarantee be bumpy, but it will hopefully translate and make sense. Let me get through this pair, and when you're ready, I can just do.
You want me to help you?
Oh, you know what? But then you're not listening. It's kind of counterproductive, isn't it?
Because you know what you're going to do next. Just take it down.
Yeah, take your time, but hurry up.
Take your time as you hurry up.
Yeah, I could do this pair of Luckies, I guess. Oh, it's hot in here. I'm having a hot flash. No, it's these lights. They're not that, but they're that hot. Oof. A little bit. Okay, so how can we do this? Do you have a tripod thingy? It doesn't matter. It won't. It doesn't make sense because I'm filming on the iPad, so it won't make sense. You want to? You want to? I guess we could do it real quick. All right, Michelle. Okay. All right, so Michelle, we're going to take a minute here, and I hate to do it, but we'll take Prof away from listing just for a minute, and have him film over my shoulder, and I'll talk as I go, just to give you a feel for the actual shots that we take. You good?
Yep.
All right. It's at 7%. Hold on.
Oh.
I know.
So it wasn't charging at all?
It's just not charging. And now it's gone to nothing. What's happening here? There we go. All right, so hold on. Finger. All right, so here we go. All right, I've already done the in-between shot. So, all right, Michelle, here we go. This one's for you. So I'm going to check all the pockets for riches. I'm going to snip off any extra threads, which unfortunately I've already done on this one, so that's not going to be very demonstrative. But my imaginary straight line right here, I'll line it up. I'm going to smooth it out with one hand, smooth it out with another, because again, we neither wash nor iron our jeans. I got to move this, it's in the way now. So this is our money shot or butt shot. And because it's a larger size, I'm going to switch on my phone to the photo and go landscape on it. So I'm going to line it up, take the shot. I take two. I'll ask it to focus on this in particular to make sure that my color is fairly accurate. And I've also already checked this one for any defects. There shouldn't be any stains or holes or anything for that matter that would disqualify these. I'm going to line up my measuring stick to get an accurate measurement of the waist. And my pro tip on this is that you always want to bring it over a little more to the left or to the edge than you think, because one eye is going to be dominant, and what you think is the edge of these pants on the left is not always going to be the case. So I kind of overcompensate a little bit, and you can actually tell, you can test this by closing one eye, opening the other, blah, blah, blah. But just trust me, it happens that way. So then I'm going to bring it above. I'm going to ask it on purpose to focus here. I'm going to make sure that it's in focus before I move on. It is. Photograph number 3. Remember, I'm looking for year, make, and model. In this case, this is a size 32, short inseam, lucky, vintage, straight. So this is a, well, I know by the pockets that it is a man's pair of pants. I'm going to have it focus on this label because that's the most important. Everything else, because it's pretty close together, should fall into place. I'm going to stretch them out. Give them a little shaky, shaky. That's the song, by the way. Shaky, 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 shaky. I don't know where that just came from. That's the way my brain works. So now, okay, so the big inseam debate of 2016. Starting at the very bottom of the cuff with my measuring stick, and I'm coming all the way up the leg. It makes sense to bring it this close to the zipper. And you guys can tell me in the text, well, you kind of know what it is. But see, this is a 32, right? On the top, never mind. We can look up on the site, but Lucky counts their inseam up here. Many people count the inseam down here, right? 7, and you can probably hold them up. They're lucky 32s.
Or even a 28, but
yeah. but see, it's not, this is not a 28 inseam.
Here.
I would bet that if you held them up, and this is what we did last night. So Jason is a 32. Oh, they get to see your messy office. All right, so look, he's going to hold them up. And so see, that's accurately totally a 32. Go by what the general consensus is about where an inseam is. Clearly, it's not a 28. And it's just, we're not wanting to continue this argument. It's just one of those individual things, and manufacturers are different. Places of origin where they are manufactured are different. So here, now all I have to do is the cup shop. Anything special about these beans? That's probably fine. We'll bring this over. And again, I'm going to watch that left edge because dominant eyes happen. I'm going to bring this up. And then I'm going to take my in-between shot. And that's it. Ta-da! Okay, so hopefully, let me just put you right here while I get mine. Do a what?
No.
Okay, yeah, I'm just whatever. So Michelle, hopefully that was helpful to you. In a little bit, when it's my turn again, I'm going to actually show you over my shoulder what that translates to. But somebody asked about editing the pictures. So the reason we do that is because that particular pair, and this one's not that bad, but you see that particular pair looks like that. So I'm going to want to bring that in a little tighter, and I'm a little worried about the color on this one. So I'm going to need to balance that out because you can see, look, these are like electric blue, and that one's a little closer actually. So then I'm going to make sure that's straight, square that in a little bit. And the last three usually stay the same. So the labels will stay. I'm not going to edit that picture. I am not going to edit the inseam picture. And I'm not going to edit the cuff picture. And I've given Jason everything he needs to make a complete listing for these jeans. And he can tell by looking at this photo, for example, he would put in the notes, see photo somewhere on cuffs. And then that gives the consumer the option and ability to make a decision based on what they see in front of them. All right, so I'm done chatting.
All right. I'm going to take it over just for a moment.
Okay.
And
ready.
All right, guys. So quick update. It's now 1 o'clock, just a little after. So we got through lunch. 73 people watching, by the way, which is awesome. So our numbers have been climbing all day. So thank you guys for that. So far we are at, just to give you a quick update, we are at 51 listed on the day. So just a bit over halfway, pretty much halfway.
25 pictures.
And Karin has taken 25 photos.
40.
We've obviously spent a lot of time explaining things today in this first 4 hours. So we're definitely going to try to, or 5 hours rather, we're definitely going to try to really get on the listings and photos these next couple hours and so on. So if you got questions and so on, please put them in. Not going to really talk about too much specific content. I did have on my list to talk about sourcing. So if you got questions about that, we could definitely discuss. All right, so we're off and running into hour number 6.
This is 6.
Yeah, this is our 6th hour. All right, there we go.
All right, they can look at you for a while.
They can look at me for a while. Well, I'm going to go to the bathroom here in a second because lunch is coming. But it's almost time for a monster too, I feel like. I'm just saying.
A monster coming on? I
feel-
can have some of my fancy coffee.
I feel a monster coming on. Oh, your fancy coffee? You got fancy coffee?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you can get some fancy coffee. That sounds good.
It's a Whole 30 approved coffee. Yeah.
Whole 30 approved coffee, which probably means it doesn't taste that great.
It tastes great.
That's not true. Actually, there's a lot of stuff on the Whole 30 diet, which we don't have on our list of topics, but we probably should talk about that some, right?
Well, we've already mentioned it several times, just as part of our life at this point.
Yeah, so some of you guys know we've been doing this Whole30 diet, which is kind of like a caveman diet. You cut out all the processed junk in your diet. And guys, I gotta tell you, it works. I mean, the day I started, I was at like 181 in weight. Not overweight by any stretch, maybe a little bit. I mean, I'm 5'11", so, nothing crazy there. But, I'm down to like 164, and we're really not exercising, which we should be. That's another question. But just dropping weight like that, just from cutting out the processed sugars, cutting out all this crap that we put in our bodies. And I got to tell you guys, it does affect you. It makes a difference on your energy levels, your productivity changes. I found I'm sleeping better overall. I mean, just lots of different changes. And of course I dropped the weight, which is always nice because, the more weight you have on you, the harder it is on your joints, your heart, everything. So, consider like Whole30 if you're looking to lose a few pounds, if you're looking to eat healthier. It's not a super easy diet to figure out at first. It takes a little getting used to, and your body's going to rebel, especially when you get rid of all that processed sugar you've been possibly pumping into it. Because man, that can be a little shock to the system. I got a little crazy about it when we first did it.
A little?
Well, a little. I say a little. Karin says a lot. Hey, but definitely a good diet to try. Where are these jeans at? I can't find them all of a sudden. Oh, there they are. I'm looking in the wrong direction. But yeah, Whole30, great diet to try. Whole30.com, highly recommend it. It's going to change the way you view food, guys. I mean, food is fuel. It shouldn't be all these other things that we make it into, like it's for guilty pleasures and all this. And I'm not saying we're perfect on it, but man, we've ate so much better on it. And honestly, it's been pretty good tasting stuff. You may have seen the bar I ate earlier. It was called an RX bar. It's actually a Whole30 approved bar. It doesn't have any sugar added to it, for instance. That Sugar Dragon, guys, it's a real thing. I didn't even realize I had it until I got off of it. And I went, whoa. Technically, Monster would not be on this diet, although I do not drink the ones with sugar, which I wasn't drinking those anyway. And we've modified a little bit since we've lost some of the weight we wanted to lose, made some of the gains. But, your health is important, guys. If you don't have that, this business stuff doesn't really matter, right? So, you can decide to keep like going down the path you're going, and you'll get the same results you were getting. And that's what we were getting. So Karin's been a big inspiration on that because she's been the one she's managed a lot of the recipes and making foods. I cook the meat. She makes the veggies and sides and so on. And we haven't lacked for calories. I'm telling you, that's the cool thing. You can eat pretty much as you want of the good foods. But you're going to find that you don't crave and you don't go nuts. And no, Jeremy, I wouldn't say basically no carbs. That's impossible. You're eating good carbs like fruits and things like that, just not processed carbs. And pasta is a processed carb, by the way. They don't grow it on a pasta tree. So I don't know. Check it out if you guys are interested. And no ice cream. Funny, Crafty.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah, hang on. She'll show you why you say that.
So Crafty, look. This is made with, and this one actually is pretty cool. Arctic Zero is made with coconut milk, right? Or is this the one that's not? Purified water. Oh, so whey protein. This is a bad example. This has got some milk products in it.
That's not the one.
But this is the one. So, which is a big coconut milk company. This is Jason's favorite, and I got these to celebrate tonight. But these are amazing, and they don't. For me, I got to a point where I think I developed a gluten sensitivity.
Yeah.
And so we're really digressing here.
All right, but anyway. So diet, important. Fun says she felt horrible doing paleo, was dizzy and weak.
Really?
We've never felt that, but we did feel it. But I felt some bad things the first almost week, Fun. I mean, because when you're used to all that crap you've been putting in and then you take it away, your body's going to rebel. It's almost, I'm not a drug user, but from what I've read, it's similar in terms of the way it starts affecting you, because your body has gotten used to that nonsense and it wants it, it craves it. So you might experience some really funky issues, but we didn't have any of those issues. And I don't know, maybe there's something particular about your metabolism that was just not agreeing with you. But I don't think there's anything really wrong with it. Yeah, check it out. If you like. I mean, we've had good success on it, and I'm not a dieter, not by any stretch of the imagination. I don't really care for diets or anything like that. But this one's been pretty. It's just more like a way to change the way you eat. I wouldn't call it a diet. It's just because you can eat as much as you want. It's not about cutting calories. It's about what calories you eat. Right? Because, I mean, we didn't evolve as human beings eating all this processed nonsense. Heck, we didn't evolve. I mean, I think we've only been drinking milk for like several hundred years. Even that's not something that we've really evolved into. We evolved from. It's just we've changed. But so you don't know what all that stuff is doing to you inside. But I guarantee you, if you get off of it for a week or two, you're going to see some changes. So right back. I use the restroom.
Okay. Oh, are you gone? Do I get to sit at the seat?
Sure.
What can people see? Oh. Prof left the room. Do. How do I minimize this? Where's the chat? Where'd the chat go? Well, I can't see me in the chat all at the same time. So that kind of stinks. Oh, our listings are going up. That's very exciting. So thanks to everybody again for coming to the show. And being so supportive. Today has been really fun. I'm starting to feel it a little bit because I think I've been up since 5. It's that sort of giddy Christmas present mentality. We were all excited about the day, and then here we are. I didn't say anything. Can't prove it.
Ow.
I know, I just got
shocked. All right. All right, so we are back at it. I'm almost out of this stack. So that's a good problem to have. Calvin Klein, last one in here. That's a brand we've been starting to carry a little more. Calvin Klein jeans. You're not going to sell for huge money, but not a bad little brand. I mean, they tend to sell. I think these are straight.
Yes, Hank, it's the photographing listing delirium setting in for sure. I thought I would be good for a little bit longer, but woo, I feel a song coming on. Not really, just kidding.
Leisure. Jen asks, what causes inflammation in the body? Oh
wow.
Lots of things.
What doesn't? Right?
All that. One thing, you could consider too, guys, there's this belief out there that when you eat sugar, it increases your, it feeds any cancers you have in your body. So if you have like a mole or something like that, you might even see a reduction in that if you reduce that sugar.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of like positive benefits, and there's really not any negative benefits. Or negative issues. So, but again, I'm not a doctor, so don't take this all the. I'll be like, well, Prof said this would cure my psoriasis.
No, but we talked about, as has Steve and Steve Rakin and some other people, is that your health has to be a part of this. Because one, you can't sit on your butt and list all day. One, you go absolutely bonkers, I think.
Yeah.
It's not good for you. And we talked on another show about how you're killing yourself if you're sitting at a desk. I can tell you, I just left a corporate job where I sat at, well, there were other issues at that job, but I sat at a desk all day. But in my case, I actually got up once an hour and walked on purpose.
Yep. Got to get up and walk around, guys. It's important. Human beings are not made to sit down all day. Really not. So,
Update time or something? No, we're not.
No, we got it long. We got 45 minutes.
Very good.
Serenade us. I sing little silly songs when I'm taking pics.
All right, give me a request.
I was going to sing that Air Supply song when she's like, you're fooling yourself. Sorry. What is that song? I think it is You're Fooling Yourself. Air Supply? I can't remember. Yeah, I wish I could go vegetarian, Hank, but I gotta eat. I gotta eat some meat sometimes. I just can't do it. I would probably starve to death if I went vegetarian.
Hey, Hank, so that we're using the right prepositions, are you Mr. Hank or a Miss Hank, please? Because especially if your response to my crafty comment, if we have also something in common, I'd like to be clear on the prepositions that I use, please.
Prepositions are important. Yeah, we're getting punchy out already. All right. Okay, so this one's done.
Hank's got ka-chings.
Ka-ching. Yeah, we haven't had one in a while, so that happens. I find most of my ka-chings happen at night, I think.
Rob said you sounded more like Sticks than Air Supply.
Was it Sticks? Maybe it was Sticks. It was Sticks.
Don't even get him started. Like, I can't even play the movie trivia game with him because...
Good call, Rob. Nice.
On.
Oh. Oh, come on. It's late.
It's like I'm doing the mannequin challenge.
Why are you doing the mannequin challenge? See, I just talked about a ka-ching.
I was waiting for the ka-ching.
That's what I get. All right.
It's Angry Young Man by Sticks. Very good.
Angry Young Man. Yeah, nice call. Nice call. Oh, man. I'm getting my 70s and 80s bands mixed up.
Perish the thought.
All right, so I'm downloading 93. And you have not edited 94 yet, right?
Oh, crap. Okay.
Just so you know.
So does that mean you're on 93? Oh,
I will be.
No, you've still got 94 and 95.
You have not downloaded 94. I don't see an invitation to it.
Yeah, I have.
I really don't. I promise you.
Okay, hold on.
Look.
Whee!
What are those right there? Defects?
Oh, you're right. No, they're the rest
Is
of my
94
lines.
already done?
No. Well, I mean, I've taken the pictures of them.
Right. But I mean, it's not ready to be listed.
Oh, crud balls. All right. So, crap, I got to get on that then.
Yeah, so I can take a minute to sort of
do something.
All right, so we've hit our first little snag, somewhat.
Is it a snag?
So I've got to download. This is the only bad thing about listing mobile, guys, that I find. And if you missed me listing mobile, I showed a whole listing in the first segment today in that 8 to 10 o'clock hour. So go back and watch that. But here's the issue. I like to have the photos on the phone and on the iPad. The reason being, when I'm in the middle of the listing on the iPad, I don't have to get out of the listing to look at the photos. I can just look at it on the phone. It's more efficient that way, right? The downside is, for whatever reason, when I get photos from Karin and she shares them with me, we share them through the photo sharing app that comes with your iOS devices. If I try to list specifically on the iPad from those photos, even though they're in the cloud, it won't let me attach them to the listing. I know it sounds crazy. So what I have to do is I have to go into each set of photos and look at the photo and let it quit spinning, which takes about 2 seconds a photo, maybe 3. And that way, and then they all just load. Then they're fine. I don't know why. It's some kind of quirk of maybe the photo sharing app, but that's how I have to do it to get it to work. Then when I go in and list them and attach them to the listing from the mobile app, they're fine. So usually I will do that like the day before. She'll drop a bunch of photos to me. I'll go in, I'll get my phone and my iPad and I'll go to each photo and just let it spin for 2 seconds. Let it spin for 2 seconds. Swipe across and just go to the next one and just load them all. So I needed to, uh-oh, that's a message. Never mind. Not as exciting, just a message. Just a message. So that's basically where I'm at with, these photos. Oh, one of the ones we listed today sold.
Oh, yay! That's cool.
I'm pretty sure. I'll look again, but the Timberlands.
Oh, nice.
I think it was today.
We knew that wouldn't last long. They do very well.
So anyway, that's that's one of the downsides to listing on the mobile app, in my opinion.
Well, and
34, 47, yeah.
And explain why we're hitting a glitch right now, because I didn't do 94 and 95, and so I'm going to have to get them to you real quick.
Right, and 2 of the sets of 10 that she's done, she still needed to edit, and we just overlooked a little bit. So she's doing the editing, then she'll drop them to me. I'll go in, I'll load them, make sure they all, swipe across, get them all, and there we go. But anyway, so just want to explain all that. I'll probably show them something here in a moment too.
Yeah, that's great. Because I can do, these are in 10, so this won't take long at all. I'm sorry about that. I should have done that during lunch. It wasn't my idea anyway.
Yeah, well, lunch was more about talking to people, and so it was,
What was the mukbang? It was about mukbanging.
Yeah, I don't know what that even meant.
Watching people eat. It's a thing.
Watching people eat?
Yeah, it's a thing. Ask King. He got to the bottom of it for us.
Okay. So anyway, we're a little bit of a stop here for a moment, which, it happens.
Well, if you had content, do it. Like if there was something that you had wanted to talk about that might preclude you from other things later, just do it.
Yeah, one of the things, I'm going to share with you guys a couple things that from my spreadsheet, and that I don't normally share with you. So this will be something new you haven't seen before.
That's suspenseful music. Woo!
You're getting punchy. Anyway. So this is my actual inventory locations open spot. So what I do here is I go in and I create an inventory bin spot. So I've talked about my system on multiple occasions, but here you can see it like what it looks like in the sheet. So this is area A, fixture 2, shelf 1, bin 1, A211. And it has 6 spots open. And right now I've used 6. And I just have a little formula up here that counts that. And it tells me that there's not any spots open. It also shows me over here graphically that there's no spots open. So I can always see how many spots I have in my inventory total and how many I've used. Right now I've used 1,009. So I only have 71 open, which isn't very many. That's about not even quite half of a fixture. And as you scroll down, you can see all the spots that I have, all the different fixtures and so on, and a bunch of nuns down here. It's quite a few. But this system, basically the way it translates is, if you go over here, you can see like, all right, this is item number 3484, and it's in location A535. So when I sell it, this is the only part that's a little bit cumbersome. When I sell this item, I will, I'll show you what one looks like. Like you can see here, I highlight in green. I do that so that I can quickly separate solds from not solds, because you can filter this column if you want to show you, like for instance, show you only the light greens. So what that would do is that would show you all the items you sold. And this is kind of fun sometimes, guys, to go through and just look at this. You're like, man, those are all sales. Or if I wanted to see all the non-solds, I could do the no-fill, which will show me everything that I've got that's still currently listed. There's some blanks in here I need to get rid of, but from things that I delisted or moved to Amazon, So lots of different things in there. But basically, this allows you, and I'll go back to taking this or clear this filter off, because that's the default. So basically, this allows you to kind of separate it out in different ways, like color coding your sales from your non-sales. Something to consider. But anyway, and it's also, I got my item number, which I showed you guys earlier. I copy this after the listing is created. I copy this straight from the eBay page. And I copy the hyperlink. So if I click on this, it would take me straight to that item. Now, when you go in and relist, as I mentioned before, it's not going to still have this same hyperlink or item number. eBay is going to create a new number. Or if you do a, sell similar, or, it's going to do that too. So anytime that you change it, and this is going to change, and this is going to change, this will no longer be the same, but your SKU number and location number will still be under the custom label field in eBay. So that's an identifier. Plus, I know too that I listed this one around these items. So that becomes a way to kind of track it and find it if you lose track of that item. Say I sell these Calvin Klein jeans and all of a sudden I can't find them. Well, I know that I listed this one on the same day. So if I can find this pair, Calvin Klein should be right near it. And I also see, well, I listed an item in A526. Maybe by mistake, I put Calvin Klein in A526. Let me check that. So having all this kind of redundancy in your inventory is really good to help you find things. And of course, over here, I've got my inventory cost and the date that I listed, because when things sell, that's where I will put all that. I will put all that info in. I will put in info like, cost of goods sold is over here. The list date, this all gets copied over. Basically what happens is I copy over all of this and I would paste it basically right here. And then of course I put the date that it sold. So I will know exactly when it sold. I can tell you how long it was listed. Like this item sold on the 15th, which was yesterday, and it was listed since October 22nd. This one was listed since October 25th. The bad thing is I don't have the list date for all my older stuff, so I just started doing this. I used to do this, and I quit doing it, but I've gone back to it. I also have the sale price. That's the price with shipping, so take that for what it's worth. I've got a sale going right now, so not huge numbers. But anyway, that's how it all works. So I hope that sort of made sense. All right, time to stop sharing.
I'm almost done.
I was just buying Karn some time. Okay, let's see what people put in here. I missed what everybody just said, so. I always put off picks till last, yeah. Tons of drafts today. I love the sheet, very precise. Thanks, Flip Flops. Let's see. Cook something and eat it slowly, making noises and get paid. Oh my gosh. Mukbang. Sounds ridiculous. New passive revenue stream. Get paid to eat lunch and dinner and breakfast in front of people. Japanese things. People pay to watch people eat. They make big college money. What? Oh man, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Thanks for that, Hank. Appreciate that. Hote Chic says, Hote Chic, I have trouble saying that. I take my photos first and make my listings and add the photos in them. I feel like I catch item flaws better that way. Mm-hmm. Sure, why not? That works. That's fine. I mean, if that works for you, I don't think there's anything weird about that system at all. That makes perfect sense. I got to download this next batch. Yeah, I mean, there's not like a right or wrong answer necessarily to how you should list. But if you're trying to list volume, you got to figure out quick ways to do it that don't really, get you too far behind your goals. See, now I'm going through and I'm touching each of these photos that were in this group to make sure that they download okay, so that I can add them to my eBay listings. That is the disadvantage of the mobile app when you share photos, I think. And the cool thing about this is Karin shares these photos with me in I guess it's like a photo sharing cloud built into your iOS or Apple devices. And I never really actually download them now. I just unsubscribe. I subscribe, go through, use them all, list them all, and then I unsubscribe, and then she just deletes. So we never have to have too many photos, dropping each other, because that takes a long time when you got to drop 80 photos, 100 photos, 200 photos, whatever it is. So we found, gosh, how many different photo options do we try? I don't even know.
And I mean, I have, I don't know if Mike's still on the channel right now, but I have a really awesome DSLR that will you can take a picture and it'll shoot it right to your computer. But it just doesn't, allow us to, like you said, you like to look at it on your phone so you can kind of flip through the pictures easily.
Right.
And so what we needed to do, we've just sort of piecemealed it. We've made it work with what we've got. And again, there are certainly better, different ways, to each his own. But this is just the way that works best for us.
Yeah. And Karin brought up a good point there. I mean, I know people ask about that. Like a DSLR camera is going to take amazing photographs. There's no question about that. But you get into this, this time versus productivity argument. Because sometimes pulling those photos in, moving them, manipulating them can take longer than maybe you want to take, especially if you're listing on a mobile device. So this has evolved into this. We've tried other photo apps, photo sharing. We try to drop the photos straight from a phone to a Mac. Somebody was asking about that earlier. It's glitchy. They come in and they're not cropped and rotated the same way they were necessarily sometimes. So you got to go back in and do that again. I don't know. It just didn't work as smoothly as we would like. So what we found is just being able to share them with each other on the phone and the iPad works for us. May not work for you, but I think it's the best way to do it for what we're doing. Anyway, I'm almost done scrolling through all these. It's taken about 2 seconds per item, although some items just download on their own with this. I don't know why. Did you get another one done? Oh, she just invited me to join another group of photos. And then in a moment, I will let that go through, but in a moment I will do that and she will. I
gotta do 95. So can I take off? I can take off 88 through 92.
Yeah, whatever I've unsubscribed from. I'm pretty sure. Are these purple?
Yes.
Oh, wow. We got a purple pair coming up.
And they're just beautiful.
She says. All right, then. No, there's no argument there. Somebody asked a question.
I can look at that.
Why is it the same exact pair of jeans are sold at different prices? Is it the fact some sellers wait till they get the price they want? Thanks. That's a great question, JR. I think it's for the same reason that in society, a lot of things can be sold. They're the same thing for a different price. I mean, the market can change. A person's perception can change. With eBay or Amazon, you're at the mercy of how somebody finds you. So they're searching somehow. Maybe they're just scrolling through listings. Maybe they're typing in a search. And then they find you, right? Well, what is that? What are they looking for, the person who finds you? Are they looking for top notch? Are they looking for mediocre? Are they shopping by price? Are they shopping by, who knows? So I think that just in general, it's a moving target how much something's worth, because people will ask me all the time, like, would you sell this jeans for X number of dollars? And I'm like, you can probably find a couple really high ones and a couple really low ones for any given jean or any given item. And then you're going to find a bunch more in the middle. There's nothing wrong with starting high. I think you should, because, you know, if you set on them too long, you can always drop the price, but you hate to leave money on the table. If you start something at $50 and then and you sell it, and then somebody a week later sells it for 80, you got to be thinking, I probably just cost myself $30. And, you know, so I would say start near the high end of the range. Look at the solds, look at the completeds, and look at kind of what the range is, and start at the high end. You know, and test the market, see where buyers are at, because it's the old adage, but it's really true. Something is worth what someone will pay for it. It's really true. So I got to grab some more jeans, get to work. I don't know what you're doing over here.
All right, so I can get rid of 88 through 92.
Yeah, and Leisure makes a good point. I mean, the market decides. The market decides what it's worth. If you're priced too high for that time in that market and that particular item, the market's going to let you know. They're not going to move, and eventually you're going to realize that and maybe drop your price. But I've seen people sometimes who will hold items for a long time at a certain price, and eventually sometimes they'll get them. But, you know, there's obviously diminishing returns. If a pair of jeans is selling for $16 to $21, you're not going to get 80. I mean, you might get 22. You might give me 25. 30 is a pretty huge jump up, and 40 or 50 just doesn't seem even realistic at all. So, but I think you could price high and kind of come down. Why not be the top sale in that item? Why not be the one that sold for the most in a given time frame? I don't know. I think it's a good way to run your business overall, if you can afford to hang on to the item and not have to get the capital right back out. So anyway. What you doing over there?
I'm doing what I do.
And what is that?
I'm deleting, and I still have to upload 95 from this morning. That's from this morning, so that's still from today. 93 are on right now. So as long as that stops at 92, which it does.
All right. Do you guys add in sizes when you sell clothing? If you don't see the exact size, like I'm selling a pair of Chicos right now, and they're 0.5 as a size, which is not one of the prerequisite. It's not the right word. Not one of the presets in the sizes. Hopefully you do, right? Size is kind of an important thing to get right if you can. And I like to go ahead and put the size in if I don't see the size. Are these capris? Chicos?
One of them wasn't.
Yeah, or Crocs. Yeah, they basically are. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and edit 95, and then I'll get back on.
Edit 95, she says. Yeah,
We've already created our own bottleneck here, so.
Yep, and we've had a little bottleneck here, guys, and we're working through it, and that's what you do, right? It's like a 4 to 6. Yeah, I knew that, but here's the thing with that: if you like Chico's brand jeans, you're looking for it in the size that Chico's has it for the most part. I'm not going to put on there it's a size 4 or a size 6, and I know their sizes run like. They have like small numbers, but mean bigger sizes. Because if somebody's looking for the pair of that, they know they wear a 0.5. So I'm not going to put on there that, oh, it's really a 4, because that's going to confuse somebody. Especially if you put on there, say it was a 2. Say it was a Chico's 0, and you put on there was a 2, and it was really a Chico's 2 is a lot bigger than just a regular 2. So I always put what the manufacturer's number says it is when in doubt. Just put in parentheses 4 to 6. Nah. I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a horrible thing, but I just want to get it listed. Somebody has a question about it, I can always answer. I mean, and the other thing is too, guys, it's like you can only hold buyers' hands so much with some of this stuff. It'll drive you nuts. Need to put these. I mean, you can't. I mean, you can tell them some things, but man, people sometimes they just want you to like go so far above and beyond what it is for this stuff. Oh, I mean, it's almost like they want to like have you drive to their house and so they can try it on. It's just not the way it works. There's a little bit of a leap of faith here with clothing, especially. Well, really with anything, I guess. Think it's monster time yet?
I think you're not giddy enough, so.
Might be monster time. Let's be product placement. Do I get money from Monster if I put the can in my video? I feel like I should, right?
Yes. I'm gonna need something here myself. I don't know. I'm starting to feel I woke up at 5 o'clock.
Did you wake up at 5? Karn woke up early. Well, we're going to do an update in 15 minutes, 2 o'clock. And there will be a new video starting. So there you go. We just had a little glitch there for a few moments. And we had to stop for a moment. Prof, you ever had NOS? No. Haven't had that one. Had Red Bull, not a big fan. I don't know if I ever had NOS. Maybe I have.
No, I don't think you have. Somebody asked you about it before, though.
Yeah.
And recommended it.
I've had that one. I'm not a huge energy drink guy. I mean, I like them, but if they went away tomorrow, never drank them again, wouldn't be the end of the world. I actually like the taste of some of the Monsters, believe it or not. It's not so much about the caffeine or a pick-me-up. It's more just about the taste of them. I know it sounds crazy because a lot of people drink them and think, I don't even like that taste that much. And I can understand that too. But, all right.
Read this as you go back to your desk. Don't make a big deal about it.
Let's see. Oh, I didn't see.
Okay, I didn't either. I'm just kind of going back through to make sure.
Yeah. Keep talking, Karn. I can hear you.
Oh, can you guys hear me? So it's not really a glitch. Well, at least what I'm working on. I now have to stop and upload all the pictures from the 2 sets that are completed so far, and then I'm almost done with set 3. And I think at some point I'll go ahead and take you guys along for when I do edit the set that I'm working on now and show you what that looks like. And I know it seems like it's a lot of extra steps, but again, it's what works for us. We gladly accept all kind of suggestions on how to make it better, but we can only do it within the technology that we have. And we also have to, because we've got a lot of moving parts here, and the 2 of us are working together, it has to make sense to us and with what we've got. So I'm in the process of editing, let's see, 94, 95, 96, 97. What am I working on?
What are you working on?
I don't know. I'm starting to get tired. I think I need to go get would you get your Monster?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's such a lovely sound. I used to drink them. The what's it called? Vanilla light or something. It was only 100 calories, and I absolutely loved it. Was way too addicted to it, probably. But it's got too many chemicals and too much sugar in it, so I have sworn them off. And it is his.
She's better than me.
Well, we knew that, but one of his few vices.
Yeah, I don't have many.
So back to you, Prof. You can have your seat. I gotta finish this stuff.
All right, people, let's get this show on the road. Get some listings listed or something. Next up is Tommy Hilfiger. Whatever. I know what it is. Don't even send me the hate mail.
We're almost due for an update, right?
Yeah, 2:00.
Yeah, so Marley, if you can just hang out until we get closer to 2:00, we'll do a full update.
Sparkling water energy. Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Oh, is it all natural? I might like that. Is that for me?
It could be. Sure. I don't know. Somebody was talking about Haute Chic.
Yes, Susanna, I agree. Monsters are not good for the heart, especially when taking in excess.
I do not take in excess. It is almost never that I drink 2 in a day. This is an extraordinary circumstance. And I don't drink 1 a day every day. So anyway. Oh, Lord, Whole Foods. Don't even get her started.
I love Whole Foods.
She really does.
So, no, you cannot sell hydrocodone on the internet. Controlled substance. Just saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't try that, Sir Keith.
I don't know if that's a real thing or not. So.
I don't know. We'll find out. So,
Almost there.
how many is everybody else listed today for those of you who are listing?
Highball.
Huh?
I'm just trying to remember. HCT.
HCT?
HCT. I called her the wrong thing.
Man, they're big jeans. There's some big American Eagles. American.
Is that the big ones?
Yeah, they're pretty big. What's funny is a lot of these older brands like Tommy Hilfiger, not that's an older brand, but there's still people who like a lot of the vintage looks from like the 80s and 90s. Even the brands today are not as popular as they used to be. So sometimes you can sort of get some good deals with those, find some good sourcing for those. Wrangler denim shirt. Is it pearl snap, Iman? Pearl snaps go for better money usually than just the regular buttons. She's got a Wrangler denim shirt.
Oh, nice.
We don't really sell a lot of Wrangler jeans, believe it or not. They don't tend to sell quite as well for quite as much as like Levi's, even though they're a very popular jean. Just the resale value is not as high.
We've had two recently. One was a fancy sort of vintage pair. Remember that with the fancy stitching on the inside?
Right.
And then we got those new with tags ones. It just sucks. Hi, everybody. All right, why are you big, though? You have to go off, do you know? Oh, no, it's fine. You're fine. All right, so red bandana shown on the yoke's pretty cool. I'm a Levi's girl as well. So I'm going to sit here, and you all will be enthralled at my editing abilities. And this is not actually what I had in mind when I said I would take you along for it, but I've got to go ahead and finish this group so that I can upload it so that Jason can list it. Because again, that becomes our bottleneck, our clog in the works, if you will. If I'm not sending him pictures, well, then he's not listing, right?
Right.
Oh, and it says here that Vintage has listed 9. That's awesome. Really, nice. Vintage? One of your 9 that you listed today is already sold? That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, if anybody's come along for the listing ride, do let us know where you're at as well. And like we said, we are about to do another update for where we're at. Oh, thanks, HCT. I will look for a white can when I go to the Whole Foods on Saturday. It is a sort of ritual for me. I go with a very good friend of mine. And he and I just laugh it up. We used to walk around the store with our pinkies up and a glass of wine, but that became very counterproductive very quickly, so we don't do that anymore. Gotta focus on the deals. Focus on the deals. Ooh, I will tell you though, Hank and HCT going to Whole Foods, I do have something in the refrigerator that's like my, oh, I digress. I'll be right back. I gotta show you something. So as a rule, I've never really been a sugar or candy type girl. But now that we've gone Whole30, I've pretty much restricted sugar altogether. But I saw on Instagram, there's this company, Hail Mary, that they make other things, but what got my attention, these. So the next time you're in Whole Foods, give those a try. They are like mini heavenly pumpkin pies. And I thought maybe it was just my weird, desensitized palate. But Jason tried them and he absolutely loved them. So I think they're only about 100 calories a piece. They're totally vegan. And yeah, they have just minimal sugar, minimal carbs. Here, I can even show you, yeah, if you want to take a look at that. But I love them and I highly recommend. So this is my go-to cheat, if you will, for this time of year. And I'm so grateful that I found them. I have to go put them back in the fridge now, though.
So you don't eat them.
So I don't eat them. Although we can celebrate with those later, right?
Right. I'll celebrate with 100 pair of jeans.
Well, we're already going to celebrate that. Oh, I know. They make other, yeah, the chocolate mint looks really, really good. I like that too. 58. Okay, we're going to get an update, Sue. Hey, Chad, we're going to do an update here in a couple of minutes.
We're so demanding.
And you missed that we openly admit that we have become our own bottleneck here. I need to get on the stick. The pictures that I took earlier, I needed to upload so that Jason can list them. So I'm in the process of finishing group number 2 now. And
Yeah,
everybody.
sue us for giving you guys content.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Chad wants to know why you're not at 150 yet.
Whatever, Mr. 200 items in your store. I don't want to hear it.
And for the record, if he was left alone, he could probably do 20 an hour.
I know I can.
Well, he knows he can from previous. But it's all these people coming in asking if he's at 150 yet is holding him up. You see that monster, though? He's about to kick it into, you know, I was Speedy Gonzalez earlier. Oh, I need to get my little Whole30 friendly cup of coffee, don't I? Yes, we all have high expectations, Chad. You hear that? No pressure. No pressure, Prof. They can't see you, right? I'm the only one that's looking up your nose right now.
It's not about the results, it's the journey.
Oh, that's what my shirt says.
Does it?
Yeah, it's the journey of 1,000 steps begins, or 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So there you go. I'll have to share my He knows that, Chad. He knows how many listings you have. He's just messing with you. Or he's got a better idea than that. Stop picking on Chad. He just came to wish you well.
Oh, he did.
All right, so I am zippy skipping through this this editing process, and probably at some point when I do that last batch, we'll do the over the shoulder thing again. Yeah, we could do more than 100 if we wanted to. You just don't wanna.
The feedings will continue until the morale improves.
Exactly. So finishing up your big stars. Oh yeah, those are the ones that I had to take the big full shot. Man, that pair took me forever. Yep, so update in 2, update in 2. See, I'm the time police too, don't you love it? Almost there. Got a strike for creating video that was in a big funnel. Oh, yeah. Blood, that stinks. We talked about that earlier. We have a family member that is very intoxicated by, I think that's a good word. No, not alcohol. But I think the idea of free shipping is an easy intoxication for them. You've really got to do your due diligence beforehand. If you're going to sell something, do a little research on what it's going to cost you. Free shipping does not mean free. And when we were talking about that earlier, you know, when we were talking about free shipping, my son, bless his heart, when we were talking about free shipping, I mean, just the sound of it, he's like, well, it's free. And because he wanted to sell something, and Jason's like, well, it's going to cost this, and then there'll be a fee. And he's like, but it's free shipping. What do you mean I have to pay the shipping? You know, my son being the seller and being all of 15 and wiser than wise, right? But it's not free. You've got to pay it. So when you offer free shipping as a seller, you're going to have to pay that. So you really need to work that into the price of your item. Or like in Blood's case here, you're going to be eating it, and that's not very much fun. We have somebody new, and we're going to have, if y'all in the chat would help Cherie out, it's her first time commenting. Welcome, Cherie, and welcome to the community. She is new and very interested and a little scared and skeptical. How would you suggest taking the first step? Maybe some folks in the chat could help Cherie out. Our instant response to that is just do it. I mean, a lot of people will start with items in their own home, things that you have a history with or are very familiar with. Just don't get emotional about it. It's something that's going to make you money. And I think people put a lot of value based on nostalgia, and that's not accurate. You're not going to make money on memories and feelings. I don't mean that to sound as harsh as it does, because usually I'm not the harder edged one in the group. But maybe some folks can help you with some suggestions on that, other than just do it. You know, a lot of folks here, we talk a lot about you know, what to do and how to do it. So let's see if we can get some other responses here. I saw something up above. How about the butt shot? Hold on. Jen, in fisheye to make it pop. Oh, well, I see so many of those butt shots. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, Jen's talking about the money shot, the very first shot, or butt shot, doing it in fisheye. And I'm pretty sure Jen is just joking, because what it's going to do is it's going to blow it up and it's going to distort it. And she says that she sees so many of them. Oh, thanks, Crafty. Everybody's kind of jumping in around her with suggestions. That's awesome. Yeah, I agree, Yvonne. We could definitely do more. This is just to give us a boost in what we've already got out there. Oh, did I miss that? Oh, that's funny. Are you serious about the foam thing in the pants? That's interesting. Aw, very cool. Oh, he read it. There you go, Chad. I'm just now joining the party, but yeah, Jason got to see that. Congrats on that guitar. That's so cool. Didn't you used to have drums? Did you ever sell the drums? I sold them. Yeah, we could do drums. Why not? You drum. You're a drummer.
You drum, bro?
You drum, bro? Chad said you're supposed to be working, dude.
I am.
I'm the person right now.
We're ready to give the update as soon as I list this one.
Okay, so he's going to finish listing the last one that he's on, and then we're going to have an update. And then are we at a switcheroo part?
Back to me?
No, back to, isn't it time to go to a new video? 8 to 10, 10 to 12?
Yeah, it actually will be.
So do you give the update now, or do we just
I usually do it when we go to the new video. That's what I've been doing.
Oh, all right. So you guys are going to have to go to the next video then once we decide to do that for the update. But that's what you've been doing, babe. So just be consistent. Do what you do.
Do what you do.
Do it. Do it. Just do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. No one must be defeated.
Oh, Yvonne, that's a oh, you still have the drums, Chad? Interesting. So Yvonne suggested putting a padded bra on her dress form, so dresses and the like look better. I think that's a great idea. You know, we use, and I'm not going to get around to it today. The thought was that if I finished my pictures, I would move on to some of the clothing items and other items that we have. But we are using half mannequins, and we have a boy and a girl. But I can see we're even putting, because we actually have a bra, a Soma bra listed, and that's got some, look at me like I'm showing you a bra here. That's got some stuff going on where it could probably add some extra padding to it. That's a great idea.
All right, we're gonna have to bust this out. I'm gonna have to take it back over. You ready to switch?
Yeah, and Yvonne, when you go over to the next video, I'll tell you why we're having to go video. There's actually a couple reasons for that.
All right, ready? Ready? You ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Bye-bye.
2, 1. All right, guys, so we're going to switch over to the next video. I'm going to put the link in the chat so that you can see it. And it's also at the front of my page. Let's see if I can find it here. Somewhere it is. Where did it go?
Yeah, this will be the last one. So.
Yeah, this will be the last one. We're just gonna take this one as far as we need to go with it, hopefully. So there's the link in the video chat. And so I will see all you guys in just a moment. We're gonna close out this video and we'll see you on the flip side. All right, in a moment.